I didn't really fit in anywhere. Like, so I wasn't Indian enough for the Indian people. Obviously, I wasn't black, so like I'm not fitting in there. So I was just me. So yeah, I've only dated black men, but not just, I would date any guy, but those are the ones that just talk to me. So yeah, when my parents found out, they were like immediately no. Like, are you insane? Like, absolutely not. There's a lot of colorism and even racism like within the Indian community. I remember one of my aunties from just England. It was like my cousin's wedding, and she was like, oh, like, you know, like, are you ready? Like, is it your time yet? And I was like, oh, I'm just dating. Like, I don't know. And she's like, oh, make sure you don't bring home a BMW. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, a man that drives a BMW? Why not? Like, that's cool. Like,
I know what she meant.
And she was like, black, white, or Muslim. But for me and the type of man that I want a man to come for me. And if you come for me and that works out, then you're very happy in life.
So I think you should, where's her camera, Michael?
Nah. Y'all.
Where's her camera?
That's cool.
She said,
cool.
That's cool. Put on her camera.
That's cool.
She said, go ahead, say what you said.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that is the type of man that I would.
Welcome back, guys, to the 3 Questions with Corey Kareem podcast. I know, it's been a while. It's been a minute. I seen the messages, I seen the DMs, but your boy is alive and well, and I am back, baby. For those of you that don't know, the 3 Questions podcast is a podcast show where we sit down with successful people from all walks of life, but rather than just talk about their wins and their successes, we tend to start the conversation off with their failures. That said, my guest today, this is going to be a good one, guys. I've had the pleasure to get to know her over the last year or so. And I've also had the opportunity to hop on her podcast show with her co-host, Ryan, a.k.a. Bun. So shout out to the Speak Your Perspective podcast. And during that experience, I got to know a little bit about her story. I got to know a little bit about her background, and I said, man, there is so much to unpack here that I have to have her on my show. And she has decided to bless us with her grace and her presence. So without further ado, please welcome to the podcast, Preeya Mystery.
Hi.
Welcome.
What up?
What's up?
What's good?
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
So, for my listeners, for my viewers that don't know who you are, what you do, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about who you are and what you're doing?
I mean, I could
what
try.
You're about.
I could try. I currently work in the government. I also have like a business baby. Her name's Body Ammo.
Business baby. I've never heard of that term before.
Yeah.
Business baby. Okay.
She was born out of something that was dark, and I needed some light, so I brought that into that. Started that in like 2013. It died, revived, back and forth, and then I got placed into the first female sneaker shop in North America. So I didn't think that like my stuff would be carried beside like Jordan and Nike. It was pretty dope.
Gotcha.
And now I'm in 3 stores and really into fitness.
So hold on a second. So you have your own sneaker design in 3 stores? Is that what that means?
I have my products.
Oh,
in 3 stores.
Gotcha.
I did do collabs with Jordan, the Maple Leafs, and the WNBA. So
Subtle
like,
flex.
you know,
Got you.
Shameless plug, humble brag.
Yeah.
And really into fitness, really into energy.
Yeah.
Just really into connecting and like just growing the community.
Awesome. Where are you from? What part of Toronto?
Rexdale.
You rep it hard too.
All day, baby. All day.
I know. I met so many Rexdale people, man. They never let me forget where they're from. So
we're just cut differently. That's all it is.
Shout out to the Rex.
Always.
So Preeya, as you heard me say in the introduction, we tend to start the conversation around failures, setbacks. And the reason why we do that is because I think I've told you this offline. There's so much content about, success, how to win. We see a lot of success stories on Instagram, YouTube, so on and so forth. But we don't see or we don't hear enough about how people deal with failures, setbacks, trials and tribulations, the whole thing. So with that in mind, tell us about a time in your life, whether it's be personal or in a professional manner, where you had a setback, mistake, and then tell us, how did you overcome that situation? And most importantly, what you learned from it.
So I've been thinking about that question
Yeah.
because I know that's something that you do on here.
So I got to make sure I'm recording.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And actually, the way that I want to go about it is that like I've had a lot of failures in my life, like a lot, a lot of really hard times, a really hard like setbacks, downfalls. Like I can't even. There's like this podcast ain't long enough for all of that. But what I want to say from that was, you know, when people are like, oh, the things that you've gone through like make you stronger and they make you like more resilient, and I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go through la 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 la. What I was actually thinking about is that if I didn't go through all of the things I went through, I wouldn't have the people in my life that I have today. And like that's a really, really big component for me. And I feel like a lot of people don't look at that. They're just like, I wouldn't be the person I am. Granted, I probably wouldn't be. And maybe my life would have been different. It could have been better. But the people that I have in my life right now, like I truly cherish.
Yeah.
And if I didn't go through the things I went through and didn't go down the roads I went down, I wouldn't have met them and they wouldn't be in my life. So I feel like that, I don't even know if I can talk about anything being a failure in that
I get you.
aspect. Because like I'm so grateful for the people that are around me now.
Okay, so let me flip this question a little bit.
All right.
Give us one that's memorable, and since you're talking about the positivity, like the positive outcome that's come out of, you know, the failures, the setbacks, whatever you want to call them, like the friends you've gained, the network that you've built. Give us one of your most memorable setbacks. What happened? And how did you navigate that situation?
I touched on it earlier. So I would say it was when my business baby was born.
Yeah.
I went through at that time, how do I say this? I had moved out of my house and on a 4-month contract with no other type of safety net.
Got you.
Didn't know, like I remember I was bringing like, remember Mr. Noodle, those Mr. Noodle bags?
Yeah.
I was bringing that to work every day to work. And everyone at work was like, you know, that's a lot of sodium. And I'm like,
It is. Yeah.
I know, but like, it's also $1. So like, that's what I'm on right now.
Yeah.
And it was a breakup. I was also going through like the court system. I was assaulted at the time. So I was going through that. There was just a lot of things that were against me in that moment. And the darkness was getting just bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, if I don't do something, like, I don't know where this is going to go. And I've always been creative. I've always like, if I can't find something, I would just make it. If I can't like figure something out, I would just teach myself. And so I just started making pieces and I would just start posting them, or I would start wearing them, and people were like, oh, where did you get that from? And things like that. And I'd be like, well, I made it. They're like, are you selling it? And I didn't even think of like to do that. Like it was just like out of like creativity kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't think of a name. For the life of me, I couldn't think of a name. So I was like making things. I was selling like one off like here and there. And then one day I woke up and I came up with body ammo, and it was just like ammo for your body.
Ammo for your body.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Remind the people where they can get that, by the way.
At www.bodyammo.ca, also at Shop Makeway & Co., also at Face by Lee, and also at The Fitting Room.
Love it. Love it.
Me too.
So let's talk about this. Let's get into this. Identity and community. That's what I'm phrasing this question. So as you told us, you grew up in Rexdale.
Yes,
loud
I did.
and proud, right? So you grew up in Rexdale, one of the most multicultural parts of Toronto. But you've talked about you being from a South Asian background, being Indian, right? But also coming off Caribbean, some people would say. At least I know when I first was introduced to you, I thought you were like Indo-Guyanese or Indo-Trini or what have you. So how did that shape your sense of identity growing up? And were there moments where you felt caught between how you saw yourself and how other people saw you? And to kind of add context to that, Preeya, I'll give you an example from my own life. I'll give you two, actually. So when I was in junior high school, there was this girl, I can't remember her name, but she was also Indian, but she told everybody that she was Guyanese, right? I don't know why, but I'm assuming that she felt like ashamed or something like that. And then when we found out, we was like, oh, it's cool. Like, why did you hide it, right? Mm-hmm. And then outside of that community, I remember there was this young kid, again, in junior high school. He just came from Jamaica, but everyone was picking on him, calling him Freshie because he had the accent, the style, whatever. And then I also remember during those times, early 2000s, late 90s, dating myself here, there was a time where even Africans used to pretend they were Caribbeans because it wasn't cool to be African, right? So my point of using all those three examples, like everybody went through a period where it wasn't like cool or they felt it wasn't okay to pretend or something like that. Because I was just curious about that. And that's where the context of the question comes from for me. But I'd love to hear what your experience was like coming up in Rexdale with that.
So I agree. I think that a lot of people didn't think it was cool to be what they were. I feel like the Caribbean community was like, that was it. Like that was a lick. Like that's what everyone wanted to be. So like people would put on accents or act like this or act like that. I never felt like that. I was very proud to be Indian, always have been. But so growing up in Rex, specifically like the school I went to,
which was
shout out West Humber, all day Vikings, all day let's go. It was mainly Black and Indian. That was like the majority of the school. And everyone, just like you and my entire life, just assumed I was some type of Caribbean. Like I was either Trini, Guyanese, Douglas, for those people that don't know, that's Black and Indian. Dominican, everything under the sun. And I never, like my name is very Indian. My brother went to the school. I had a cousin in every single grade. So I think the thing with that is I didn't really fit in anywhere. Like, so I wasn't Indian enough for the Indian people. Obviously I wasn't Black, so like I'm not fitting in there. So I was just me. So like I was known in Rex a lot as like the Indian girl that looks Black, or like I played ball a lot. So people would just know of me, I guess because of my hair or whatever. And there were times where like some women from the Black community were like, don't talk to our men. Like you're not us. Like, and I was like, I'm not trying to be you. Like I'm just here. I'm just over here. I'm just existing. But I was very into my culture. Like I'm fluent in my language. Like I've been competing and dancing like in like Bollywood for like since I was like 3, I think. What do
you mean by that? Like you compete?
So I have a group. And
currently,
we still now everyone's a little aged up and has children and things like that. But we'll still come back together for like a wedding or something like that. But we used to compete every single year. And win, obviously. So
at Rexdale proud, y'all.
I mean, I'm just listen. I'm just saying it is what it is.
Oh, go on.
So yeah, and then I started dancing at school too. So like then I was doing like hip hop, and like I guess like dance hall and stuff like that. And then I did that all throughout college.
Got you. There's a couple of things I wanna we're gonna park it here park it here. So I want to go back to the identity thing. You said like you never really fit in anywhere. So it wasn't Indian enough for Indian folks. It wasn't obviously Caribbean because you're not Caribbean.
Right.
So like did you ever feel conflicted at any point? Like did you ever feel like you started to take on more, let's say, I'm just using this as an example, I don't know, but more Caribbean characteristics? Do you find yourself hanging around with more Caribbean folks just because maybe you weren't accepted as much on the Indian side? Like,
so in like I would say like in elementary school, like everyone's just like all my friends were either Black or Indian. In high school, it was, I don't know why at West Humber, it was more like segregated, I guess. And yeah, most of my friends were black in high school. But my home friends, like from the street, like from our block or whatever, like they were all everything. So I don't feel like I took on anything. Like I love Caribbean culture. Like I love it. Like I'm a soca head, I'm a dancehall head, but I also like I said, like I dance with my own culture and stuff like that. So I don't think I ever felt conflicted, and I don't think I was like ever acting outside of who I was, even though I didn't understand or like I didn't feel like I fit anywhere. All of my cousins, again, that even went to the school, like all look the same. They're all very, very fair skin, long straight hair, very slim. I am the opposite of that. So like I just didn't understand that part, and that was more I felt like more distant, like within my family, I would say, more so than like at school and things like that.
Right. So kind of on that note, I want to touch on colorism. It's obviously a big and existing conversation within the Black community. Talk about it a lot, not just here in like North America, Canada, and the US, but also a lot in the Caribbean and Africa, even with like, you know, colorism, for those people who don't know, is favoritism to more lighter skinned or more fair skinned people. And even to the point where some folks will take it amongst themselves to bleach their skin to become lighter. I know from being within the Black community, we often feel, and some often think, that it only happens in our community, but I've come to understand it also happens in other communities as well. And what made me think about it for this conversation is I saw a commercial, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, and it was a South Asian commercial, and it was basically a product, a bleaching product. It's like, and the messaging in the commercial was like, you know, you want to get a better job, bleach your skin. You want to get married, bleach your skin, type of thing. And to me, that was crazy because one, I didn't know that other cultures thought that way or had that kind of same belief, if you will. And two, that commercial was like 2019, 2020. It wasn't 1960s or anything like that. So I give you that preamble because you sometimes, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've kind of, when I've heard your story, you kind of talked about being the black sheep in your family.
Yeah.
Not looking like everybody else, you know. So how was that? How did you manage that situation, kind of looking different from your family? What were some of the things maybe other family members said to you? Like, how did you navigate being kind of the black sheep, so to speak, of your family?
It was rough. So colorism is very prevalent in India, like extremely. Like my mom is extremely fair. Like she looks like an Italian woman. And so she was like very sought after at the time. And so, yeah, growing up was really hard. I couldn't play outside in like the day. Like my parents wouldn't let me go outside.
They didn't want you to get darker?
Right. Or I would have to wear like long sleeves. I also remember, this is a very vivid memory, but so I grew up in a house, and when the sun was setting, like the shadow for the driveway would go like further and further and further down. And I was like, I could only play where the shadow was until it was like evening time.
That's crazy.
And I was a kid. So like, all my friends are playing in the day.
Yeah.
So like, what am I really doing at night? That ended up me developing like a skin allergy, like to the sun, where I would get like severe heat rash.
Wow.
So when I got older, I was just like, I love getting darker. Like I like my skin when I'm like, I feel more golden and
you were
like
tanning today.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, while you were prepping.
So exactly. See, it's all coming together. And so I would just take the heat rash. So I just kept doing it so that my skin would get adjusted to it. I still get heat rash, but it takes a lot longer. Yeah. So like before, when I would go to like an all-inclusive, like day 2, I had to be like inside with like cold compresses on me and like aloe and stuff like that. Yeah. And it wasn't like a good feeling. Like growing up, I felt ugly, which gave me like a complex for like a really long time. Being like thicker and having like shape was not a thing. Like it was like to be more like slender and skinny. Yeah. In India, I've gone back home like 4 times, I would say. And there's like, you know, you have like aunties and uncles like, oh, like, did you see this? And it's like bleaching products for like your skin and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I've seen it. Like I was very, like I'm the type of person within my family, like I'll say anything to anybody.
You're
so
blunt.
like, yeah, like, and so I will.
I never got that about you.
No,
Really?
really.
No.
So like there's a lot of colorism and even racism like within the Indian community. I remember one of my aunties from, I think she's England. It's like on my mom's side, I don't know. It was like my cousin's wedding. And she was like, oh, like, you know, like, are you ready? Like, is it your time yet? And I was like, oh, I'm just dating. Like, I don't know. And she's like, oh, make sure you don't bring home a BMW. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like a man that drives a BMW? Why not? Like, that's cool. Like,
I know what she meant.
and she was like, black, white, or Muslim. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, right? I'm like, no, I'm going to find a man that's half black and half white and who's Muslim. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And like, what are you telling me? You know what I mean? So it was rough. It was really rough. I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel pretty. My cousins were very protective of me, more so than like my aunts and uncles. I guess just because we all grew up here. So when we would go to even like dance competitions and stuff like that, you would hear other competitors talk in like my language and be like, why is that black girl here? And my cousins would pop off on them. I wouldn't. I was used to it. So like it didn't really bother me.
Right.
But they would cuss and like they would go off on them. So
So you know, earlier on you talked about some of your experiences are the reason why you have the friends and the networks that you have, like a blessing. So do you feel like hearing those type of comments, going through that type of experience kind of built kind of like the tough skin or the resilience that you have today?
I think the resilience, it just comes from falling down and continuously getting back up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize sometimes like your reach and like the things that you go through can shape other people too. One of an example of that is my cousin, one of my cousins, a couple years ago at one of my other cousins' weddings. She has a son and a daughter, and her husband is like my complexion, and she's very fair. So her daughter is about my complexion. And she was telling me that she's like sat down and like talked to her daughter about like her skin tone and like that it's so beautiful and like look at your masi, which is what that means is like aunt in my language. You know, it's like see how pretty she is, like see what she does and things like that. And my cousin was talking to me about it, and she's like, I never knew like half the things you were going through when we were kids because like you never talked about it. And I would never like say anything against my parents or family. I would just take it. And like I would just like disappear, or I wouldn't show up to family events and stuff like that. And people would think that, you know, it's because like, well, I'm mad and I'm like trying to rebel and stuff like that. And that wasn't the case. It's either like I didn't know, or I wasn't invited for like a reason because of like my appearance and stuff like that. And she was just like, you know, when I found all that out after the fact, she's like, I wanted to instill in my daughter like the resilience that you had, even though like we didn't know that you had it at the time. And I cried. I was like, oh my God, like that's so sweet. Like I didn't even realize that that was a thing, or like that was coming off in that way. So like I was happy.
Look at you inspiring folks.
Look at that.
The next generation.
You know? She's cute.
But if I could dig a little deeper, if you don't mind me asking, what was one of the most hurtful things you heard growing up about how you look, skin tone, and all that?
One of the most hurtful things wasn't something that was said; it was something that was done. And we were in India, and it was myself, my brother, his wife, and my cousin, and we were getting introduced to like other people, and they just didn't introduce me. Like I just wasn't.
It's like you weren't even there.
Yeah, exactly. So that was probably one of the most
how'd that make you feel?
Hurtful things. Just shitty. Like that I wasn't worth it or anything. And I think that stayed with me for a long time. And I think that like feeds into like even my relationships with like men and stuff like that too. I think that it's always been a battle to feel like worth it. and to feel like worthy and wanted when I didn't feel like that growing up.
So how did you I'm really curious to how did you navigate that? Like, what were the conversations you were having with yourself to kind of keep your head on the right track and not,
I wasn't like, I kind of just kept going. Like, it was like kind of like, when you're like just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't really realize how much it affected me until I got older. But I think that like as a teenager, I was angry. I was an angry kid. And I had a temper.
I can't see that.
You're so funny.
Sorry.
You're so funny.
But yes, serious moment here.
Yeah,
back on
yeah.
track.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I had a really bad temper. And I think I was just angry from like just not knowing where to put all those feelings and like where they were actually stemming from.
Yeah.
So I think it wasn't until like I got older, a lot older, and started.
Did you say like 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah, like pretty recent, like 5, I would say, 5-ish.
Interesting.
To where, after like just going to therapy and like just learning more about myself. And like, I think the job that I was in initially, just really helped me understand like just different perspectives and different point of views, to really like look within myself and seeing the things I was allowing and not understanding why I was allowing such bullshit. So now, I don't allow anything anymore.
I mean, I find this very fascinating because one, maybe I'm seeing you. I obviously got to know you at the tail end of all of this. You going through therapy, right? Very confident, all this stuff. But it's interesting to know that, maybe 5 years ago, you maybe weren't as confident or dealing with things internally inside your head. So that makes me think like, if you had the opportunity, being that you were inspiring other folks out there, whether intentionally or not, if you had the opportunity to share with another person that is going through what you went through, what would you tell that young Preeya, right? Or even if you could go back and talk to yourself, is there anything you would do differently? Is there anything you would say to yourself if you could speak to a young Preeya right now?
So it's, I think, funny that you mentioned that you think, I'm again not putting words into your mouth, that I'm confident. So like people have thought that about me my entire life.
Yeah.
Just being confident, and I was never confident.
Interesting.
Ever. But you wouldn't think that if you saw me out. You wouldn't think that if you were with my friends. You wouldn't think any of that until if we like sat down and had a conversation and I was vulnerable enough to even say that. So I've worn a mask for a lot of my life. And it was more just, I thought like it was like faking it until you make it. But like I was faking it for like 20 years. Like it was a long time. So I just aged myself so hard. Anyways.
It's okay. Listen, it's not how old you are, it's how you look and feel. So
no, that's cool. I'm proud of how old I am. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have been for a really long time, and I think that people just assume that of me just because of like how I come off, but like the insecurities are still there, like all of that type of stuff is like around that. So I don't even know what I would tell somebody like at my age or like the things I was going through. Like it would just be like just to keep going, and like your worth doesn't come from other people, like it comes from within. But like that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Like it's very easier, and it sounds so cliche, and I hate sounding cliche.
Yeah.
But for real, like you can't base your happiness off of other people.
Yeah.
Or society or anything else, because from where I'm standing, again, being like an Indian woman, like not married, no kids, like I'm at the bottom of the barrel here. Like, you know what I mean?
Not funny, but I understand
but I'm
what you
saying
mean.
like that's just like that's what it's at.
That's the perception of where it's
like
at.
If you don't have a husband, if you don't own a home, if like, it's like you don't have status until you're married.
Now, you said that's how it could be perceived, but you don't feel that way.
I feel yeah, I do actually. Not that part, but like I feel like I'm behind in life and like societal measures, just because I don't have those things. But I mean, I like my life, like you know. But sometimes, yeah, it's like, you know, would love a little man, little something. Like, you know,
little man, you mean a kid?
like a partner,
A
like
partner,
you know,
got you. Okay.
And like I thought I would have kids, like by now, and I'm not saying I wouldn't have them, but like I'm just older now, so it's just like a different lifestyle. It's a different path. Like you got to like think about different things. But I'm just saying, like in my community, I'm not like I'm really far behind.
No, I understand that, and I feel like there's a lot of communities that are like that. Like when I was in college, I went to a predominantly Jewish college in New York City. Shout outs to Brooklyn College. Like 40% of our population was Jewish, and I got to learn a lot about the Jewish culture. And there was a girl that I befriended, and she's actually interestingly enough, she's a radio show host now. I won't name the radio station so no one can tie her back to this story, but she was taking her time through college. So she was about 24, still in school, 25, around there. And she was expressing that at that age.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, if I'm not married in the next 2 years, it's like, you know, it's all downhill for me and my culture and my community. I was just like, oh, this is like fascinating to me. Because
really?
At that time, when in my 20s, that was the first time me hearing that concept. Because in Caribbean cultures, it's different, right? There isn't a pressure to get married that young.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting to see someone saying at 25, 27 that they're like, you know, old or damaged goods or something like that.
Yeah, like I'm like dust now for like my
not
community.
Funny, but I mean, you're making
like,
it funny.
But all of my cousins married between 23 and 26.
Yeah.
30s, insanity. So like when you're going to weddings and stuff, they'll be like, oh, like this is my son and this is my daughter. I never got that because clearly of how I look.
Yeah.
So like that wasn't ever like a thing for me, but like my cousins would get that all the time. My parents would ask me, you know, like what's
going on?
What's happening? Like what's good?
Yeah.
And then this also like this story is pretty funny. So like one of my cousins came out. She's like a lesbian, right? So she came out, whatever. Family was fine with it, whatever. And then I didn't at the time, like I didn't date anyone for like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't even know. Like I didn't bring anybody home. It's also very different in my culture. Like you bring home the person you think you're gonna marry.
Yeah, I get it.
And like one day I was home and I was like chilling with my dad and we were like having a whiskey and like just talking. And he's like, Preeya, he's like, you want to get married, right? And I was like, yeah, Dad. And he's like, to a man, right? And I was like, you think I'm gay? Like, what is happening here?
Because of your cousin?
No, because like I've just been single for so long.
Oh, he was just curious.
Yeah, he was like, are you like, we good over here?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Dad, like I'm fine. Okay. Yeah. Just haven't found anybody yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But now like they're really chill. Like they don't pressure me or anything like that. They're like, you know, take your time because now there's a lot of divorces happening as well for like people that have gotten married like younger and things like that. So my mom's like, there's no pressure at all.
Right. So speaking on that, right, it's a good segue. We talked about your upbringing in Rexdale, kind of, you know, not fitting necessarily in with all the Indian kids and kind of looking like you're from the Indo-Caribbean and all that type of stuff. Safe to say that you've dated outside your race, right?
My whole life.
Your whole life. So talk to me about the experience of being an Indian girl, dating black, whoever outside of your community.
They were all black.
All black. Okay. I didn't want to make that assumption, so I was being safe here. Talk to me about what that experience is like, because the reason why I bring this question up is growing up for me, I grew up in a very multicultural community, Indians, Asians, everything. And growing up as a kid, I didn't know it was like that until I got older in my late 20s. And I'll give you one specific experience. I remember in my late 20s, working downtown, I go to lunch and I'm sitting down with an Asian guy and a South Asian guy, and we're having lunch at some like sushi spot. And I don't know, we got on a topic about dating and bringing home girls, and got on conversation about prom. Like, oh, who'd you take for prom? Was your date like? And the Asian guy said, if I ever he's like, I remember getting in a fight with my mom or his parents or something. He's like, so to piss her off, I brought home a black girl. And I was like, yo, that was crazy to me.
Wow.
And I didn't even know. And like the Indian guy kind of said something there. If I ever wanted to make my mom mad, I would just bring like, and I never really thought about it like that until that moment in my life. So I've come to learn that the Indian community is very tight knit. A lot of that I do respect, but then there's a portion about it that seems very, racist like, or a lot of discrimination or whatever. But
racist like, it's racist.
Well, I'm trying to be diplomatic here because I understand everybody in the community is not like that. But talk to me about what that experience was like for you personally, where it was then and how it is now.
So yeah, I've only dated black men, but not just, I would date any guy, but those are the ones that just talk to me. And my very first boyfriend was Jamaican, because for some reason I can't get away from them.
I mean, Jamaican men are, we're out here, but
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, when my parents found out, they were like immediately no. Like, are you insane? Like, absolutely not. Also, probably didn't help that I was in high school and he was in college.
Fair.
That also probably didn't help.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. It was like a 2-3 year difference. I was in like ending of high school, so like 17, I think.
Right.
But my mom, they were immediately like, no, like you can't do this. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
BMW, you broke the rule.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
And so that was very rough because I was like, this is my boyfriend. Like, I love him, like all this stuff or whatever. And then I went to university. We were still together. My parents didn't know. Then I had to take a break. They found out during that time. Like, I took a year off of school. They found out. And initially, like, they weren't paying for my schooling just because of like the issues I had with them. So they were just like, it was rough, like I said.
Right,
so like they were like, well, we're not paying for it and whatever. And so the reason I had to take a break from school is because I had to work.
Right.
So I worked like 3 jobs to like save up to go back to school. And during that time, they found out and they're like, we'll pay for your school if you go to like these 3 universities. And they were all very far away. And
so it was strategic.
Right.
Gotcha.
And I was like, so I picked the only one that was still in Ontario because one was in Halifax and one was in the States. And so that was Windsor. So I picked Windsor and I was struggling with it, but I was like, what? And I actually talked to his mom about it. And she's like, you get your education. Like, that's what you do. Like, if he doesn't get that, then like, that's my son, but whatever. He didn't like that. He broke up with me and I went away to school and they paid for it. After that, I came back, whatever. Over time, like, they just didn't care anymore. Like, it was kind of like, I don't know, they were just way more accepting. And I think that I was like talking to my dad and I was like, Dad, honestly, like, I get I'm your daughter. Like, I understand that. But like, when you look at me, like, what do I look like to you? Like, do I look like, he's like, oh, you look Portuguese. I was like, what does that mean?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
My dad's also like very funny. Like, he's like amazing. Like, he's a great guy. I asked him the other day too. I'm like, so if you could change my name, like, would you ever change it? No hesitation.
He would.
Yeah.
What would you
know
change
what?
it to?
It was, what the hell was the name? Oh, Maria.
Maria.
Yeah.
Did he?
But he didn't like. He wasn't like, oh, let me think about it.
He just knew.
He was like, Maria. I was like, so do you hate my name? And he's like, no, but like, you look like one. And I was like, all right, Dad, whatever. So
interesting. It's interesting also that he chose the Portuguese reference because I'm also thinking about like Goan Indians that were colonized by the Portuguese, right? So I can kind of see why he.
It was just like there was just no hesitation in his voice. Like, he didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And when I asked my mom's like, "What do you mean? Like, you look like I don't know." She just didn't have like an answer for that. And then they were just fine. And then my last 2 boyfriends, they were fine with. Like, there was no issue. Like, they were very welcomed in my home or in their home and in my family. And there was just never an issue after that. I think like because I stood up for it in my first one, I was like, well, this is going to be my family. And you just need to make a choice, like at the time. Like, what are they really going to do at the end of the day? So like one of my cousins, she was dating a guy, he was Guyanese and he was Muslim. So when the family found out, all hell broke loose. And they were like, you're disowned. So they disowned her, meaning like they kicked her out the house, like whatever. And all of my uncles and aunts and my parents were all like talking to her parents, saying like, you can't do that. Like, it's fine. Like, they'll be fine. It'll be fine, whatever. And then closer to the wedding, they took her back and it was fine. It ended up horribly though. So that wasn't good.
Didn't work out the relationship.
Yeah. And then it was just very like, oh, well, no, I told you so.
Right.
Kind of situation. So like that wasn't great. But like at the end of the day, like they'll come around. Like here. I don't think in India it's very different. Back then, I don't know about now. I haven't been back in a minute.
So do you ever think, because that takes my mind a couple places. Do you ever think that, because a part of me when I hear that story, when they're like, they've come around, right, talking about a larger family or what have you, do you ever think that, okay, on paper they've come around, but it's different when you've actually signed the dotted line where this person is now legitimately a part of your family, and let's say now you have a son or a child. Have you ever thought about that your son or child obviously would be darker, especially if you're dating a black man, what that experience would be like?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That was a huge thing when I had my first boyfriend. I was like, I would never bring my kids around you guys, like to my parents. Like it was very crazy at the time. But my family, I would say, is like very westernized. They've all been here in Canada longer now than they grew up in India.
Right.
And we have this one, how do I say it in English? Priest that typically marries everybody, like in my family. Like he just does all the weddings. And, in talking to him and like within like the Gujarati, which is the language I speak, like community, he has married like every faith and race like together. So like, no, I don't think it's like just for show. Like one of my cousins married to like a guy from Ireland, and like he wore a kilt and she wore a sari, and like he married them and things like that. So I just think back then, and this is like in the early 2000s, it was just different than it is now.
Right.
And like I think that if like my cousin came out at that time, all hell would break loose.
Right.
So I think that they're just more accepting now and understanding that, you brought us to a country that has like so many different facets of life. Like we're just not all gonna, stay the course and like follow and like stay like within this one community.
Right.
So.
Right. So it's all good now, huh?
Yeah, we're straight.
Straight.
Yeah.
That's good. So, we kind of touched on it a little bit. You're talking about, want to find your guy. So like dating your man or little man, or
he can find me.
Phrase.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought I'd kind of wrap up our conversation with a little fun, little dating question here. I think I know how this is going to end, but let's go with it. So it's 2026. You're dating in Toronto, and you have to choose between one of these three options here: the guy with the perfect text message game but zero plans, or the guy who says, "Let's see where this goes after 6 months," or the guy who's emotionally available but lives with 3 roommates. Which one of those are you picking, and why?
All right, can I break this down?
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, so the first guy is what? Bad.
The first guy is perfect text game but zero plans.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to have no pen pal, so that's next.
Okay, so he's cut. Got you. Then the next one is the guy who says, "Let's see where this goes after 6 months."
All right, so at the age that I'm at right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this into like buying a house. Okay?
Yeah.
So like you're like, all right, I'm ready to buy a house.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go out and run and look at a house. You're like, this backyard's too small. Like I want a bigger backyard. So you go on to the next house.
Yeah.
This yard, I don't really like it. Doors maybe like not big enough. Like maybe now the next house you go to, the room's too small. All these things. Then you walk into this house and you're like, it's perfect. It's everything I want. Still got to do the inspection, got to understand the foundation. Cool. Then you're like, all right, I'm going to think about it. You think that house is going to stay on the market? I don't think so.
So you're bouncing.
So that's a no.
Next. Okay. And then the guy who's emotionally available but lives with 3 roommates.
All right. So this part. I have been the woman that has like built up men, has believed in their dreams, has supported their dreams, have funded their dreams, have pushed for ambition.
I feel like a Martin Luther, I have a dream speech
like,
coming on.
You know what I mean? Like I have been her. I've been the ride or die and to go through the mud and like all that. I'm not doing that anymore.
You're done with that.
No. So I guess I'm still single.
So if I have a little dream and
have the dream.
Yeah.
Have the dream. I want you to have the dream. I want you to have ambition because at this point, like you should still be aspiring to something.
Right.
But brother, have your life in order. So because I don't think you should be in a position or ready to invite somebody else into your life if you're not right yet. Because maybe you can't do the things that you would want to do for them or yourself.
I understand. So he shouldn't be thinking about dating if he's living with 2 roommates.
Right. For now.
Right.
Unless he likes that. Right. Like if he's like, like I want roommates forever and like that's how I want to live.
Then your response
do date, just not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, continue on the same topic here. You once infamously said, come get me.
Oh, geez, Lord. Okay.
Come get me.
I said come for me.
Come for me. Excuse me. Correction. You said come for me. What do you mean by that? To guys that are out there in the dating world, come for me. What does that mean? Break that down.
It just means like know what you want and go after it. That's all. It's like it's really simple. Like if you see something that you like, go after it. It doesn't hurt to ask or approach or inquire, and it's not that hard. Don't sit there with your bedazzled pants on and expect me
this sounds
to come
personal.
up to you.
I don't know who that guy is.
I'm just saying. I don't know what the bedazzling epidemic is right now. Like it's actually getting out of hand.
That's crazy.
Like,
I don't know what that is, but anyways.
It's guys that wear rhinestones. You wear rhinestones? You have any rhinestones on your shirt?
I do not.
Oh, okay. So
I do not.
You're good.
I do not. I shop on Amazon. I do not. I don't have bedazzle or anything. Best thing I got is these shoes right here. But that's funny because I'm being a bit facetious here, and you obviously know this because that your response came out of the fact that I said on your podcast that I feel that women should approach men more, particularly women that haven't had a lot of luck, right, or have the wrong type of men approaching them, guys that they don't like, right? So because I would come from the school of thought, definition of insanity, expecting the same result over and over again by doing, you're doing the same thing and you're expecting something different. So if you've always been like, oh, I'm going to show up to this place and I'm just going to wait and see for these people to come talk to me, and it's not really happening the way you would like it to, then maybe you should try something different. And you were opposed to that viewpoint.
You don't come from the school of thought to like go after what you want? I'm asking. We're talking about school of thoughts here.
I am a man.
I'm listening.
I am a man. And I'm a person about duality. So for me, it's not a one or the other. My thing is you should do both.
Okay.
That's my
and
thought.
That's cool. And that's awesome for you.
But they got to come get her.
For me, I would like a man that would do that. Like I would like that type of man.
I would like $1 million.
And that's great.
There's a lot of things I would like.
I hear you.
So you're telling me,
maybe you'll get it. Maybe you'll get it one day.
So you're telling me, have you ever asked yourself this question? And I've asked this to other women before. You're with your girls, you're going out, day party, whatever. There's a guy that you see, attractive, he looks nice, he smiles, you smile, whatever, lots going on in there. And because he hasn't approached you, you're gonna like not drop any signals, you're just gonna let that go. And maybe he's distracted. I'm not saying that he's shy or anything. We can't make those assumptions yet. You're gonna tell me that if you're feeling the vibes and that strong of a connection, even though you haven't verbally made any exchanges with this person, you're just gonna like walk out of there and be like, he didn't approach me, so it wasn't meant to be?
I never said I wouldn't throw out signals. Of course I'm gonna throw out signals. I'm just not going up to you.
So how would you throw out the signals?
I don't know. Looking, eye contact, smiling, who knows? Walking by, I don't know.
So you know my theory, because we've shared it on your podcast. I feel like that's a miss for some of y'all, man. I'm not saying that you got to take the man's role. Not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in a day and age where everyone's distracted, everyone's got the phone, everyone's got a bunch of things going on, you might need to insert yourself a little bit more than you usually would.
Well, maybe like exactly what you're saying. You're like, don't take the man's role. I think that is the man's role for me.
So
not for everyone, for me. So hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just break this down for you before you interject.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe he is distracted. You're right.
Yeah.
So maybe he's not in a place where like he wants to talk to anybody. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But for me and the type of man that I want a man to come for me. And if you come for me and that works out, then you're very happy in life.
So I think you should. Where's her camera, Michael?
Nah. Y'all,
where's her camera?
That's cool.
She
That's
said,
cool.
Yo,
That's cool.
put on her camera.
That's cool.
She said, go ahead, say what you said.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that is the type of man that I would want.
All right, cool. So we're going to wrap this up real quick. Preeya, to your best of your abilities, you know I got this amazing game here called 3 Questions. I just need you to pick 3 cards here and answer these questions to your best of your ability to wrap this up.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. Shoot. Go ahead. Shoot. We can answer them together if you'd like.
Okay. Sounds good. Ooh, I would like to ask you this. Who inspires you and why?
I would say LeBron James for his consistency and being like top shape. I'd also say Obama in the sense of being able to handle all that like hate and negativity and just be always cool, calm, and collected. Those are the first 2 people that come to mind.
Okay. For me, it's my brother.
Why is your brother?
He has like done everything that he's like wanted to do, like unapologetically. Like he went to school and did the accounting because like that's what you do. And he was like top 3 in his company forever. Then he was like, all right, I'm gonna do my own accounting firm. So then he did that. Then he was like, all right, forget all of this. I want to make cabinets now. So he bought a cabinet company and he did that. And then that went belly up. Not belly up, but like whatever. He had to end that business. And now he took both of those things together and created like a company called Spray House where like it's like refurbishing like your kitchen and stuff like that. Took the business side, took the working side and like put it together. And like to show, like to walk away from like making as much money as he was like and being in such a comfortable place from doing accounting to working with your hands and now like just creating your own company. Like I really admire him.
Yeah. No, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Shout out to your brother.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Spray House. Everyone check that out. All right. What is something you are better at this year versus last year?
Patience.
Really?
Yeah. I'm still working on it. It's not perfect,
okay.
but patience.
Cool.
Patience.
Cool.
That was a dig, wasn't it?
It was. It took you a minute.
No, but listen.
It took you a minute.
Sometimes people be trying to bait me into conversations and debates, and I always gotta tell myself I don't gotta take the bait, you know. But I also just letting people say what they say because sometimes I already know what your thought's gonna be, but I need to let you just finish your thought. So patience.
Did you say you already know what your thoughts?
A lot of times I already know what you're gonna say.
So you assume.
Sure, you would call it assuming, and then usually I'm right.
Usually? You think so?
Yes.
Who's skewing that? Like who's rating that?
Moi.
Okay,
yes.
so
yes, but patience to answer
sounds
your
like
question.
a bit biased to me.
Yeah,
but
probably is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
At not letting things that used to matter, like not giving so much attention to things that in the grand scheme of everything don't matter. I lost my my soul dog like earlier this year. And
Loose, right?
Yeah, Loose. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I didn't realize like the gravity of like what that would be like. And I realized like the small things that you would like get mad about or get upset about or sad or whatever, like just really don't matter. So like maybe before I would get mad or upset or care if like, oh, you don't get like a text back or somebody talk to you in like this way, or you're debating and going back and forth with this person. I'm just like, argue with yourself on my phone. Honestly, like I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So like,
It's not that
I
serious.
think it's not that serious in the grand scheme of everything. Like it's really not that big of a deal. And the things that people make or put so much
Facts.
attention on it's just not the case.
And you know what? That made me think of someone I know that just recently found out that they have breast cancer. And just like that, like your life changes, right?
Your
Things
perspective changes, right?
1000%. So I agree with that. That's the last one.
What bad habit are you defending?
Okay, I've been thinking about this. Because I'm an overachiever, I often overstack my days. And because I overstack my days, it'll sometimes make me late to things. Because I'm like, oh, I put these 8 things on my list thinking I'm Superman. And I'm like, I try to do all 8 and I end up being late to the function, or I'm like not feeling so good because I wasn't as productive because I didn't get all 8 things done. So I tend to overstack my days, but I defend it by being, hey, this is what you need to do to get things done.
Okay. That's not bad. I don't know if I have any bad habits, to be honest with you.
That sounds a little bit skewed.
No, I really don't know if I have any bad habits. I guess lateness, I guess that
All
could
right,
be
since
one.
you're giving me a soft ass answer,
no.
I'm gonna ask another question that's in here.
Whoa.
What is one what is one bad thing, or what is one common thing your exes would say about you? She's editing, y'all.
A common thing? Is that what you said?
Or bad, depending on how vulnerable you want to be.
That I love hard.
Man, that sounds like on an interview. Like, what's one thing you need to prove on? Oh, I'm a workaholic. That sounds like one of those answers right there.
I mean, there is one, but I can't really say that on
fair
here.
enough.
So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's keep it.
Yeah. Not your podcast. Y'all go down that world. I need to get sponsors here.
No,
right.
I'm a lover girl. I am. So they would say that. And I'm very thoughtful.
That you are.
Very, very thoughtful.
So any parting words? I mean, we had a pretty deep discussion here, but any final thoughts to someone that's kind of been through the experiences that you've been through in your life? If you can leave any parting words with them, what would that be right now?
It gets better. It gets better. Even though it doesn't look like it, and it doesn't seem like it, and you can't see it, and you can't feel it, and you just don't feel like it gets better. So just take time, put one foot in front of the other. And sometimes it's, day by day, sometimes hour by hour. I mean, for times at me, it was like minute by minute, but it does. It does.
I feel that and I respect that. Well, guys, that concludes this episode of 3 Questions with Corey Kareem. And for those of you that know, I often like to end each episode with saying this. Sometimes you don't need to learn anything new. You just need to hear or see that somebody else went through it too. So other than that, Preeya and myself are out. Peace and love. Until the next time.
Bye, guys.